Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. SJPour here at the Grain Bill. I've closed up shop. I'm on take 300 of this video. You can tell my voice is probably starting to get a little bit hoarse, and I'm fixing to have a sip of Dorfin time. That is such a good beer. Oh, man. And that drives you mask malters completely insane. I love that. Dorf 68 came up with a phenomenal recipe. I love brewing it. I love drinking it. It's a good beer. And I suggest anybody to grab that recipe and brew it because it's a good one. It could be a staple on your homebrew system as well as mine. I wanted to stop in and give a bit of a video here to give a shout out and a thank you and an applaud to the folks behind the scenes of the 2016 SJPour Challenge. Without these folks, the challenge wouldn't take place. Without these folks' family, the challenge could never take place. They allow these folks to do what they do to bring everybody together on a common goal and make this thing happen. And for that, I can't thank you all enough. So I'm going to get right down to it. Our hub coordinator, Kevin Clements, who's also a finalist in the finals, who came in third place. Yep, right there it is. Came in third place in the world finals. Our hub coordinator, Kevin Clements, thank you and your family for allowing you to be part of the behind the scenes of the SJPour Challenge. To be able to keep us all in line and focused on a single goal is no easy task, especially when you're dealing with folks from all over the world. Incredible job. Our web designer, Jed Johnson, who put together a phenomenal, beautifully pleasing webpage. When you go to www.sjporchallenge.org, you're seeing his work. He wrote it, he built it, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it's fantastic. It's very pleasing to the eye. It's functional, and it's a place where we come together to share with you guys. We have Facebook and we have the challenge. The bulk of what we do, the scoring and the timeline and all that, and our sponsors are all on that website. He did a phenomenal job putting that together. Our financial officer, Joe Belcher, thank you. I know Joe and his family personally. I look at them as dear friends. I have family, actually. I look at them as my family. And thank you so much for doing your part on making sure that all of our financial issues are taken care of. The hubs, all of the hubs, starting off with New Zealand, Grant Baker. Thank you and your family for being part of the SJPour Challenge. Phenomenal job. Jonathan Ellis, same to you. I know that he had a lot on his plate, and he grabbed it, took the ball, and he ran with it. So I thank you as well. The U.S. hubs, Josh Hoover on the West Coast, Tyler Everson in the Midwest, and Larry Lentz on the East Coast. Phenomenal job, guys, on making sure everything happened and worked out the way it was supposed to. I also want to thank Dan Disselance and Harry Brew 69 for also being there as kind of emotional support and help when we needed it off to the side. Fantastic job. Thank you guys, all of you guys, for everything that you did to make the challenge happen. I do want to touch base on each of the finals from the as we went through the year, and starting off with the U.S. We had Kevin Clements, who took first place in the U.S., Josh Hoover took second, and Andrew Cooper took third. With placings, because we had a semifinal in the U.S., Jim Padberg, Dan Pixley, Larry Lentz, Gary 14, Joshua Sjporr, Michael Dean, Stephen Goldenberg, Wally Feck, and Brad Watson. All that's your top 10 basically. There's more than 10 there, but you get the gist. Move on to the United Kingdom and Europe finals. Oliver Blantz took first place. Manuel Vikas, who took first place overall, took second place in the United Kingdom and Europe stage. And Jonathan Ellis rounded out the top three, with Victor Jimenez, David Lucas, Alex Rock, Chris Ashley, Kenneth Floline, Matt Evans, Dan Noyce, Darren Whittington, and Richard Collier, who was last year's winner, rounding those out. And then moving on to the New Zealand, Australia, you had Grant Baker taking first, with Paul Finney coming in second, and Stefan Brandt taking third place. And rounding out the rest of those was Doug Dixon, Dan Verstedge, Kerry Davis, Carl Pierce, Dean Colburn, Andrew Rostas, Ryan Middlemass, Zane Maxwell, and Stephen Ray. So those were all the folks that made it into the finals of those countries. That's a lot of folks. That's a lot of great beers. And that's a lot of moving stuff around and making it happen. Absolutely fantastic job. I need to wet my whistle. Shout out to you, Dorf. Nice beer. I also want to put a huge shout out and thank you to our sponsors again. So starting right off with our number one sponsor, Brewcraft USA. iMake, the maker of Mangrove Jack and the Grainfather. Yakima Valley Hops. Hiraki Homebrew, Gladfield Malts, the Grain Bill. Keg Kingdom, and Brewers Exchange. These were all of our gold sponsors for the 2016 SJP Challenge. Our silver sponsors, silver and bronze, went with Finney's Homebrew Emporium, Beersmith, Brewtubers Online Brewing Club, Omega Yeast Labs, Extreme Brewing, Balin's Brewery. So those were our sponsors for this year's challenge. They did a fantastic job. I'm going to be getting a hold of Brewcraft USA over the next day or so and working out the details of turning these three beers into Brewcraft kits to be able to be available to homebrewers all over the place. I'm not sure how it's going to work out for, the folks on the other side of the pond. I might have to work out something separately with iMake, but I can work those details out with Brewcraft. And see where we head there. But I do want these to be, I would really like these to be available worldwide, because after all, we are a worldwide competition. So there you have it, kind of a thank you. It's a very quick. I could never, just so you guys know, there's no way under this sun that there's enough video, there's enough words that I could put into thanking and the appreciation of what goes on behind the scenes with the challenge. I want to actually thank personally my wife, Mary, for putting up with not only me and the challenge, but everybody else as well. Because she's a good sounding board. She's a good she's a good soul, and damn, she's pretty smoking hot too. So yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. So I digress. I can't wait to completely finish this one up and work out these details with Brewcraft. They sent a note out the other day, and I'm hoping that it is what it meant. There's a good chance. Well, let's just say this. If you can make it out to NHC this year, make it out to NHC. I'm doing everything in my power to get out there, because the SJP Challenge is going to represent. at the HomebrewCon 2017. So look that up on the internet. Get your tickets today. I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying everything I can to get out there. I'm actually working a deal out with Laramie 22 so that we can make it out there and everything. But that's another video. I need to get out of here. I need to head home, get some vittles up in me. I just wanted to stop in and say happy Homebrew Wednesday to everybody. Thank everybody that had anything to do with the 2016 Sjporr Challenge and your families and everything. And man, thank you all. This is Sjporr from the Grain Bill and Little Face Brewing. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, folks. Brew beer. Brew world-class beer. Cheers.